Let's talk to Attorney Israelito Torion, Legal Counsel for Senator Bato de la Rosa. Attorney, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Attorney.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. Magandang umaga po.
Alright, Attorney, first of all, kayo na po ang, magpa-file ng comment, no? Ano po ang status nito?
Well, actually, tapos na kanina and we are just refining the same and we intend to file it on or before 2 o'clock this afternoon po.
Okay, pero officially ba, ano
Ito
po
namin
yung,
dito sa amin.
ano ba yung third day dapat, Attorney, or yung deadline nyo?
The deadline for the respondents or the government was last Saturday and I have 3 days. In law, you do not include the Saturday, the first day
okay.
in counting. You count Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So, Tuesday. Pero we will file it ngayong Monday.
Okay, and ano po yung comment nyo, if you can give a little, no, on the comment ng Solicitor General regarding the issue?
Well, isa lang ang masasabi ko dyan, no? The Solicitor General, no? I hope we are not violating the sub judice rule, but this is pursuant to the right of the public also to know kasi this is a case of transcendental importance. I think I can be given some leeway by the Supreme Court here. The Solicitor General failed to address one question lang. What law can it cite authorizing the executive department in outrightly arresting Senator De La Rosa and surrendering him to the ICC without passing through local courts? No, that is absence proves our point that our Constitution reigns supreme within Philippine territories, that the Bill of Rights was specifically enshrined in the 1987 Constitution to check on the excesses of the government. Kasi nga, nandyan yan para tingnan, para magiging bar po against government excesses. And ito na nga po yung classic textbook example. We have an executive department which seems to treat a foreign warrant of arrest as if it is a local warrant of arrest without going through confirmation process by our local courts. Maling-mali po yan. It violates our 1987 Constitution. It violates customary international law kasi all constitutional democracies require resort to local courts before transmitting a person or surrendering a person to the foreign court. Kaya nga, na-cite ako kanina, yung example niyan, Italy, concerning, Al-Masri na SIM case. Siya, Libyan siya, nadakip sa Italy, pero yung Italian courts recognized this petition before the local Italian courts and found that there were procedural infirmities and released him and deported him back to Libya. I likewise cited the case of yung Simone Gbagbo in Ivory Coast, where there was an ICC warrant of arrest against him and it was supposedly to be applied or to be served against him in Ivory Coast. But the Ivory Coast local courts recognized his petition and tried the same and likewise found that there were violations of his rights as a human being. So, yan ang practice. I can even cite 22 other cases proving that constitutional democracies really have this customary international law that foreign warrants of arrest would pass through their courts. Only the Philippines is unique. Philippines is unique such that we are willing to have our Filipino citizens transported right away without passing through local courts. Wag naman sana mangyayari yan.
Ito, dikit lang dito to data. Attorney, while kasi sinasite nila yung, of course, yung much talked about RA 9851, very vague kasi ito at hindi naka-define dito yung process or constitutionality or hindi ini-explain. Ngayon, are there any precedents or any cases in the past that could give light to this or ngayon pa lang mangyayari ito?
Ngayon pa lang nangyayari ito. Kaya nga, tinuturo natin sa law school in cases of doubt, you look at the intent of the lawmakers. And we looked at it, no? Yung framers ng RA 9851. At ang sponsor pala nito, si Senator Gordon. At ang nag-interpolate, si Senator Pangilinan. And it was there that it was emphasized that this law was actually passed in order to fortify local criminal courts. And on March 9 of 2009, Senator Biazon likewise interpellated Senator Gordon, and it was likewise there that was emphasized that local constitutional processes have to be followed before a person is, surrendered to the foreign court. Why? Because the Philippines did not copy Part 9 of the Rome Statute concerning international cooperation and judicial assistance. While it may be true that we copied some, but we did not copy all, including the provision on Part 9 which supposedly provides for the procedural mechanisms as how surrender would be effectuated. Wala po tayo dyan.
So, lang
Kaya
guide.
kailangan sana i-amend mo na itong Republic Act 9851, provide for the procedural rules as to how we can implement surrender. Kasi nga po, kung wala tayong procedural rules, hindi masunod yung ating 1987 Constitution. Mapawalang bisa yung human rights po ni Senator Bato de la Rosa.
Well, if I'm not mistaken po, pati po ba yung Article 59 ng Rome Statute ay ini-invoke din po ng inyong kampo?
Precisely. Kaya nga po, Article 58 governs the issuance of warrant of arrest. Sabi nila, even under Article 59, granting ex argumenti gratia, sabi nila, you could no longer invoke that because we are no longer a member of the
Hindi
Rome
na tayo
Statute.
miyembro,
Kalokohan yung mga argumento na ganyan. You could not cherry pick which provisions of the Rome Statute. Ang amin nga granting ex argumenti gratia. Sabi namin, wala nang jurisdiction ng ICC, Pero granting for the sake of argument na meron ngang jurisdiction. Pati nga yung basis ninyo, yung Rome Statute, nandun sa Article 59. Nandun yung resort to competent judicial authority. Bakit hindi nyo yan susundin? Ang magkaiba lang kasi niyan, ang effect, kung dito tayo sa Article 3 of the 1987 Constitution, medyo mas mahaba yung proseso. Yung extradition process, kaya nga in-invoke sana namin yan by analogy, mahaba din yung proseso. Mahaba yung proseso, kaya nga kasi nirerespeto yung karapatang pantao. Under Article 59, medyo abbreviated, pero nandun pa rin, nakalagay pa rin, that one must pass through local competent authority.
But what about the argument on residual obligation po natin?
The residual obligations appertains to the jurisdiction of the ICC to take cognizance of the Philippine situation from 2011 to 2019, but it should not be differentiated from enforcement of a warrant of arrest. Kaya nga po yung mga kaibigan natin na mga experts, tanungin nyo na sila, yung surrender mechanism ba, may procedural mechanism ba as to how to implement it? Wala silang masagot niyan. Kasi nga sa Cayetano versus doon nga sa Cayetano case, no? Pangilinan versus Cayetano, may interpellation nga doon si Justice Leonen. At tinanong yung abogado, did we copy the entire, mechanism under the Rome Statute? Nag-concede siya, hindi. Including Part 9 on judicial assistance. So ang ibig sabihin niyan, our Constitution has to be followed. Hindi po manok si Senator Bato na kosa mo lang dakpin at dalahin doon sa Hague, Netherlands. Tao po siya. May karapatang pangtao po siya. Kaya nga yung Bill of Rights nandyan to check on government excesses in 1987. This is a perfect example why we should follow the Bill of Rights of the 1987 Constitution.
So the arrest warrant of Senator Bato de la Rosa is no different from the arrest warrant of former President Rodrigo Duterte. What makes you think po ngayon na maglalabas ng favorable decision ng Supreme Court on your camp?
Because now the Supreme Court has more time to study the case, no? Noon kasi nung pag-file ko, I am still the lead counsel for President Rodrigo Duterte and Senator Bato de la Rosa. Dalawa sila nag-file nito Original nga ito, si Senator Bato de la Rosa lang. Isinama lang, tinawagan ako the night before. Kaya nga, we had to amend it the night before. So, ang sa amin lang, noon siguro hindi pa nakita lahat ng entire gamut of the facts as well as the legalities involved. Hindi nakita yung intent ng Republic Act 9851. Hindi nakita yung na hindi lang ito 1987 Constitution ang basis namin, international customary law. Article 9 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Likewise governs that any person arrested must have the right to a recourse, judicial recourse. Articles 8 and 9 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights likewise states that any person arrested must have also a judicial recourse. So, ang sa amin is, this is not only a 1987 Constitution Bill of Rights matter, this is likewise an international customary law matter.
Attorney, may I ask you na rin po kung nakausap niyo na po si Bato, si Senator Bato, no? When was the last time you talked to him? And of course, people are talking about him na umalis po sa Senado at ang tawag po sa ginawa niya ay pagtakas.
Hindi po pagtakas yun. He is making himself unavailable because you were able to see in the morning. Kaya nga nakakatawa yung mga sinasabi na drama daw yun or ano. Morning pa lang nandun ang NBI. Ano ba naman yan?
Kung hindi po
Nandun
yung pagtakas,
Yung
attorney.
morning pa lang yung NBI nandun and with the intention of arresting him. Yun. So, pumunta pa nga si Senator former Senator Trillanes doon, pinakita pa yung warrant para siyang sheriff ng ICC. Hindi naman siya sheriff ng ICC as if to justify his supposed arrest. So ang ibig sabihin niyan, the government through certain departments, hindi naman lahat, have that idea that really they can arrest him right away without going through confirmation via local judicial process.
Pero, Attorney,
Yours nga, kailangan mo pa under Rule 39, Section 48 ng confirmation proceedings. How much more an arrest warrant, a foreign warrant of arrest?
Yeah, pero attorney, kung hindi po siya tumakas, allegedly ayaw niya pong tanggapin yung word na yun, pero bakit po siya umalis sa Senado ng wee hours of the night, without
I can only
informing
speculate,
everybody
I
that
can
he is
only
going to
speculate.
leave the
Kasi nga po,
Senate
nung
premises?
nagkaputukan, nakita namin yung reaksyon ng mga senador masyadong nakakaapekto doon sa safety ng mga sitting senators, yung mga staff, yung mga media doon. Natakot sino ba hindi matakot doon? Mga barila na yun. Kung hindi lang ako sanay sa mga kaso ko sa Maguindanao at saka sa farm areas, siguro ako rin lumipad na siguro ang espiritu ko. Maybe knowing the personality of Senator De La Rosa, kasi I know him, taga ano kami, Davao del Sur. I know him since bata pa ako. Ang bait nun, na ayon niya makahasel, kaya he made himself unavailable.
Alright, lastly, attorney, and quickly lang po, do you believe like ibang sentiments po ng ibang mga senador na possible political persecution ito at saan po nanggagaling yung persecution?
Well, I tend to subscribe to that idea that this is indeed all politics, no? And the arrest of Senator Bato is, I think, tailored to fit a certain the opposing political narrative. Na ano daw siya, meron daw siyang kinalaman doon sa crimes against humanity, and kung basahin mo nga yung initial portion ng comment ng Solicitor General, it is as if he is already guilty, no? Parang argumentum ad misericordiam, no? Appeal to pity. Hindi pa nga siya hindi pa nga accusations pa lang yan lahat. And yung kanyang warrant of arrest hindi pa na-confirm dito. Kaya nga po, dahan-dahan naman tayo sa pag-judge sa kanya na fugitive from justice siya kasi tumakas siya kasi wala pa po yun. Wala pa pong local confirmation na ganun nga siya. Local judicial confirmation na ganun nga siya.
Lastly, kailan niyo po huling nakausap si Senator?
An hour or two prior to his alleged exit from the Senate.
Ano pong sinabi niya sa inyo?
Yun nga, yung mga legal alternatives
Pero hindi
namin,
niya po sinabi sa inyo na
focusing
aalis
on
siya?
Section 17 na nasabi ko na sa inyo.
Oo.
Pero wala kaming napag-usapan about naaalis pala siya doon para hindi na makaperwisyo sa kanyang mga kasama.
Can you also confirm that he also asked daw for PNP custody?
That I cannot confirm. It was general, yung magiting na
Yes.
General Mau Aplaska yung nagsabi niyan. Hindi ako privy nun. Wala na ako dun sa Senado when that allegedly happened.
Alright, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras, Attorney Estradito Torreon, Legal Counsel for Senator Bato de la Rosa. Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.